Hi, Tim Qualls down here at one of my favorite places. I hadn't been here in a while. I thought it'd be nice to get back down here and especially meet our new captain of the Kalmar Nickel. This is, I want to be sure I get it. I know it's Captain Morgan's and everybody else knows Captain Morgan's, but this is a different Captain Morgan's. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Well, you got to be excited. I mean, to take possession of this ship that's history in itself, but, you know, following history with it. I mean, nice to sail out there?
Absolutely. This is a fascinating ship to be part of and an honor.
The female captain, unheard of back in the 1700s, still a little bit tough today. I mean, you catch a lot of riff about it, or everybody seem to say, okay, this is our captain?
I've actually found that all the people that are important to me, which is my crew and the people that I have to work with, have been incredibly supportive of me and of both of us stepping into these roles.
And when you say both of us, of course, this is our captain when the ship's into maintenance, I guess it is.
That's right. My name is Sharon Litkovsky, and I'm the port captain here in the Kalmar Nickel shipyard.
Yeah, when you're talking about it, because that's what's happening right now. It's winter. In fact, this week's coming in. Some snowflakes were falling on us. But, you know, right now, what's going on with the Kalmar Nickel? I mean, you know, a lot of people don't realize how much stuff has to be done when the ship is not out there sailing.
The winter is a very active period for us at the Kalmar Nickel. We have maintenance going on 7 days a week from when we hit the dock in November until when we leave in April. And it continues underway all summer as well. We are working on painting rigging, we are working on refinishing wooden gear from the ship, and making repairs as needed.
Yeah, because I'm noticing, you know, because the ship always looks so gorgeous. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, but there's a lot of work that goes on to keep it looking that way. I was noticing there's a lot of it going behind, and I'm trying to figure out exactly, because you mentioned painting rigging. I was trying to figure out, what is this guy? He's over here, he's painting ropes. What does that do?
Tom's one of our volunteers who's painting the rigging to protect it from the ultraviolet damage from sun and to keep it looking traditional. It's not exactly the way it was in the 1600s. They would have used tar, but since we have synthetic rope, we use paint on that rope, and Tom is working on that.
Yeah, so when you're talking about painted, I mean, I know that rope's thick and hard and everything else. Doesn't that harden it up that much more? I mean, when you talk about, you know, because it's stout rope as is.
That's right, and the ones that we paint black are called standing rigging, and they're not meant to be adjusted regularly.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I'd hate to. I was out here playing with the rope one day, and I thought, man, this is a lot of work out here. But speaking of work and everything, because, you know, like I said, the ship always looks good, and there's a lot of work goes behind it. You've actually got the mast off of it right now. You guys are redoing some of that.
That's right. Each year for the past 3 years, we've been pulling masts to inspect them for signs of damage or rot, and our ship has just sailed its 11th sailing season, so it's time to start checking these things. So we have the main mast off the ship right now.
It's been 11 years since we launched this ship into life. It seems like it was just yesterday. It's hard to believe it's been 11 years, because you guys are basically a volunteer organization. A lot of people behind us. How many volunteers are you working with?
We have almost 300 active volunteers that help maintain the ship and help sail her all season.
Yeah, and when you talk about sailing, you need new crews, because you guys are constantly doing that. And do you lose crews every year, or do you keep some and others replace?
Yeah, I think as with any volunteer type activity, as people's lives change and new things happen to them, or they move, or they have kids, or whatever, our volunteership does change, but one thing that we are very thankful for is the number of experienced returning people that we have. We do have a number of people, one of them is here today, who have been here since the very beginning when the ship was launched. So they've been here through all 11 sailing seasons, and we've gained some fantastic new people really each year since then, who stay with us and are very loyal. And what that does is, not only is it add to the general experience level of our crew, but it takes some of the onus off of us to train everybody from the very first step.
Because as a captain, you know, your job is to oversee the function of and be there in case of emergencies and stuff. So you have to have that experience. I know this young lady beside you's got quite a bit of experience already. She's one of those one day when you talk about that, because you got classes starting right now for people that want to volunteer.
That's right. Starting Saturday, January 10th, we're going to be training a new group of volunteers, and no experience is needed for anyone who'd like to join this class. You can get some information on the website.
Yeah, when you're talking about that, volunteers, we're always looking for volunteers, even though you might not be one of the ones to get out on a crew. There's always things around the shipyard to do and things of that nature. But when you're talking about this, because I'm kind of curious, because you guys, when you're talking about volunteers, these guys might be on that ship and gone for an amount of time too. So you can't be everyday work people either. I mean, it takes a special person.
That's actually not entirely true. We do have people who do things as precipitous as quit their job and move onto the ship. And we have young people who are home from school in the summer and spend massive amounts of time on the ship. But our program is actually very flexible. So people are able to sort of design their sailing schedule to fit their lives. When we're here in Delaware, they can come for one sail, one day, one weekend. All those kinds of things are possible. When we go further afield to Virginia up to Massachusetts, we provide transportation to and from the ship once a week.
So that makes it a lot easier. So you take a vacation.
Do actually, they take vacation time and come sailing on the ship, which is actually a pretty neat thing to do in your summer, I think.
That's great way to spend your, because I'm thinking to myself, man, because I know you guys have sailed all over the world nearly already with this ship, and to have volunteers to say, okay, I'm gonna give up life for a month and sail all the way over. So it's a little bit easier for folks to be able to get involved with it than that.
That's right. We do try to make it accessible to almost anybody, really. And we do have volunteers from all walks of life, all ages. 14 is the minimum age to volunteer. There's no maximum age. And I mean, a few sort of physical requirements are necessary, of course, but for the most part, it's available to a vast number of different people.
Now, the one thing I know that it takes, I mean, you got a lot of volunteers and everything, but there's not a lot of people volunteering and supplying this paint down here and the wood and then the ropes and all that. So there's constant need for money. I mean, I know you guys are nonprofit, and a lot of throughout the years have been supported by different companies and the state and everything else. With the economy being the way it is, we still need help in that. And there's different ways that you guys do different fundraisers. One of the ways that you can do it is, a lot of people don't realize this, but you can actually charter the KALMAR NYCKEL for a day.
Yeah, we can offer charters to have parties, business meetings, weddings, all kinds of anything you can think of. We get underway. We sail in various areas of the East Coast. You can also do a dockside party. So there's different opportunities.
Yeah, so that's one way of raising money, but another way is, of course, from your kind pocket out there. I know times are hard in the economy and everything, but if you're looking to give, this is one place you definitely want to think about giving to, because it's part of Delaware's history, and it's being maintained by folks like these young ladies here and a lot of volunteers, but they need your support as well. So for more information, the website's there. We're going to put it on the screen there. You can go to that and you find out so much more. Congratulations, and it was a pleasure meeting the real Captain Morgan. I thank you so much, and lots of luck. I'm looking forward to going out there with you one day.
Well, thank you very much. We'd love to have you sailing.
And Sharon, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.